this on the. Okay, I started this recording so that I'll see if I can make notes or make an image. Okay, so my first question, um, will you help me to create a similar simple diagram with your input, obviously, so that it will help to summarize all of your insights, so that in future it can help others, including me, obviously.
I mean, it's
Okay.
pretty similar to what you said from that initial diagram.
Okay, see, I copied the diagram. Let us start from scratch here. And you said you will become whatever you think you are. Okay,
Yeah.
go
Do you
ahead.
know how do you know how Nisargadatta said he listened to his guru? His guru told him that he was the source,
Yeah,
and he just held that conviction that that's what he was. And
okay.
what ends up happening is everything's going to transform through you to move you to that point of perception. So it's almost like starting from what you are instead of starting from what you think you are at this point in time. If you think you're the individual and you have all these things to do, you're gonna stay at that point of perception because that's what you think you are. So if you hold the conviction that you're the source, then life is going to move this idea of who you think you are into like an experience that's going to transform you into seeing as the source. Things are going to change.
Okay, give me a second then. Let's even delete these guys. See, as on today, right? I think I'm my body, I'm my form, I'm my thoughts, I'm my words and my labels, and they say me and my titles and all those things. And I believe forms exist, objects exist, and I see other species, other humans, and everything. So this is what I'm today, right?
Yeah.
All
That's what you,
most of the 8 billion people. But now what you're saying is, I should think that I am the source. I'm not this body mind. Is that okay? If I think that I am the source, what is source?
You don't have to know because that's what you are. If you ask what is it, then you're still holding the idea that you're separate from it. Like you don't ask, like if you know who you are as Jay, you're not going to say who is Jay.
Yeah.
You're just going to know that I'm Jay. So if you say that you're the source, you just know that you're the source.
But William, source is an English word. If somebody say like abracadabra, just imagine you're abracadabra or some random word.
Yeah, it doesn't. The word doesn't matter. It's the conviction of knowing that you're either all of this or you're none of this. Like,
oh, you are saying yeah. See, this is awesome. This is developing very well. I am all of these are none of these. Okay, that's what you mean by the word the source. Like,
yes.
I'm the source of all of this is one.
Yes.
I am. It's okay. So let's even put it simple.
Or whatever is appearing is not me because I'm the source. Is the other, the other view.
I'm the source of all of these are. I am not whatever is seen or thought of. Right?
Yes.
Wow. This is going faster than I imagined. I thought this will be a struggle, but this is awesome. So even okay, let us put it here then. Okay, so me, Jay, as on today, I believe I am the form and objects and all, but I'm a separate object from many other objects, right? I am a separate individual or a person. Now I have a choice. I can start imagining and believing I am everything. Like I am that house, I am this chair, I am this person, I am this monitor, I am everything. And I am this thought, I am this emotion. That is one way. The other way is I'm not the table, I'm not the chair, I'm not this monitor, I'm not this floor, I'm not of this earth, I'm not of the sun, I'm
I'm
not
not
of
Jay.
anything.
I'm not
I'm not
Jay.
even J.
I'm not. Yeah.
Okay, so these are the two approaches.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I stay with this thought, or it's not even a thought, if I stay with this, I don't know, insight or statement, then
All the division is going to dissipate. Everything that you see separately is going to start to dissolve, and you're just going to see yourself, or you're going to see none of yourself.
okay,
And I'll say one thing about, like, if you see everything as yourself, the one benefit of that is you can be in service to everything because you see it as yourself.
hmm.
You can, it's almost like everything becomes like your child. So you have like a love for everything that you're interacting with.
Okay, so then uh, this helps to serve the world.
I guess, what is that called? Bhakti? Is that like bhakti, like
Yeah,
devotion?
yeah. Okay, yeah. But generally, hmm, I'm deviating from Advaita, but still, I think this is the right time to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
See, even if you say bhakti, like, what does it mean? Like, serve the world, like, sorry to put it bluntly, most of the spiritual masters were very poor people, except maybe Osho Rajneesh. Okay, they
Right.
they could not serve other people, and with money, because money
Yeah,
is
but it doesn't mean that,
ah
like I fill up my bird bath here every day. I make sure the birds have water. It's like the little things that you can do is like whatever you can do is your service.
whatever I can do is the service. Okay, that doesn't mean that I can go on just because I have understood myself, or I believe I am everything. That doesn't mean that I can go to my town and solve everybody's problem.
Right. Like you may have to just like do your job well at work, like
Hmm.
serve that aspect of the consciousness. It
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily mean like serving the poor. Like it's serving whatever your duty is at that point in time. You're doing it in service to whatever that experience is.
Hmm. Okay.
You can do it. You can be in service just preparing a meal, like you're preparing a meal in service to the people you're feeding in your family, or you're in
Okay.
service to taking your kids to the class they have to go to. It's whatever you're doing is your service.
William, there is one story by Osho which has actually, I think, corrected me when it comes to service. So I will tell you that story, and then I will ask for your advice. The story is that there's a Buddhist monk. He wakes up in his morning and he goes for his early, like whatever, his stroll or whatever. Then he sees, I don't know if I told you the story. He sees somebody in a well, like which doesn't have those protective
Yeah,
wall. I told
you told
you,
me that. Yeah,
right? So now he did it with a good intention. But then what if that guy goes and kills somebody? Have I not in a very indirect way helped? Or Even to ask here in my city, there's always poor people asking for money. Even if I give $10, many people tell me that guy is directly going to a liquor store and he's going to buy alcohol and he's going to continue his bad habit and he'll continue to beg, right? So if I give him $10, have I sinned by making that guy to drink alcohol and beat up more people?
What was the last part that you said?
Have I sinned? Like
No, the last part. You said something after drinking and then doing something else.
if he goes and beat up somebody,
Oh,
kill somebody, or does something in a, I mean, when people are drunk, they do all those things, right? I mean, they'll fight.
but you can't control the outcome. Like if you're giving from the place in your heart of compassion for that person, like whether they go and buy alcohol or not, like you're not in control of that.
But
You
I am
have to,
responsible for that.
yeah, but you have to have some type of trust in the universe that if you're moving from your heart, that that that's what's supposed to happen. Because in terms of duality, you can't fix duality. You're never going to, it's never going to just be good things.
Hmm. Okay, so
I mean,
even, go ahead.
you have to understand that like you're here for your awakening. And if you're concerned with what's going to be happening to all these other people, then you're kind of like keeping yourself caught within that dualistic idea that you're in control of the experiencing, like as the individual. Like if you're just here as the expression and it's a loving expression, then you have to allow the rest of the expression to move the way that it's meant to move. You can't, like, how many things can you control? Like everything is an expression of the universe. Like everything's one movement.
Hmm.
So ultimately you can't divide anything into pieces and saying that you caused something. If you're going to approach this as somebody that's seeking truth.
Hmm.
And you come to see kind of the illusory nature of the experiencing to begin with. You know that you're beyond the experiencing and this is just your projection.
Okay, so one of my mistake was, in my understanding is the universe is a whole acting as a whole. Maybe this is what I missed. Okay, I'll keep in mind. Okay, so now to take a step back and even for the summarizing thing, currently I believe I'm a personality made up of words and I have ambitions. I believe in forms. I'm separate from the world. I am separate from the world. But
Mm-hmm.
that is made up of mind and that is made up of a figment of imagination in the human mind, correct?
Yes.
And this mind is in the human brain, is it?
Yes. Well, it's part of it. I mean, there's different definitions of what mind is. Like, mind can be all of consciousness, like your original mind.
Hmm. Oh yes. Okay. So then let us define our consciousness. Somewhere the consciousness has to come. uh, okay. Let us bring the conscious to the equation. So in the conscious, only everything exists.
Yeah, are you familiar with like the four bodies? The gross body, the subtle body.
Okay. Actually, no. But I'll just make a note of it. No.
The gross body is, I guess, like the appearance of whatever you see. It's
Okay.
everything that appears.
Okay.
And that's arising out of the subtle body, which is the mind.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then the mind is arising out of the causal body, causal, which is kind of like the void, the void out of which your thoughts are arising.
Okay.
And then there's a super causal body, which is the awareness of the void and the thoughts arising out of the void.
Awareness of the void and the thoughts arising from void.
Yeah, and you can actually think of like the world as kind of a steady thought arising out of the mind, because the world is appearing within the mind. Like whatever you see is an appearance within your mind.
Sorry, the world is what?
It's an appearance arising within your own mind, like because the sense objects are an appearance within your mind. Like when you touch something, that's an appearance within your mind. It's a vibration within your mind.
Yeah. But how is this world, this earth, related with my mind? Because even if this body mind dies, looks like the world continues to exist.
Well, it won't for that
Individual.
for that piece of consciousness. It's like,
Yeah.
that light of consciousness goes out, and everybody sees a different world. Like there's not
Yeah.
one world. Everybody's there's 7 point whatever billion worlds.
Yeah.
So that's why we say it's a projection.
This is a deep statement. World is a projection.
It is, without a doubt. And everybody's projecting their own world.
So, okay. So then can we say there was this universal consciousness became 7 billion consciousness, and each individual consciousness projects one word or 7 billion words?
Well, each individual projects their own world.
Okay. So there are 7 billion words.
Yeah.
There's no one common word.
No. That's why you can say that it's an illusion, because everybody's seeing something different.
Yeah, but wait a second. If I see a rose flower, you might see from a different angle, I might see from a different angle. And then you're saying both of us are projecting same rose flower at the same time then?
Yeah. You're both projecting. It's not like you're not seeing the same thing together. You're both seeing a separate projection.
Of the same thing.
Yeah.
But then it is the same thing. Then it is one thing, which is outside the projection. See, if 100 people see the same rose, does it mean that 100 people are projecting the same rose and agreeing for the same thing?
It's just the projection. There's no reality.
Real rose.
You can't step beyond the projection to see like the real rose. Because everything that you encounter is encountered through your mind.
Yeah.
And everybody's mind is only seeing from that point of perception. So nobody sees the same thing. You can't share your mind with somebody else. So that's why we kind of say that everybody's living within their own world.
Mm.
Like even this conversation, like you're seeing me from your point of perception.
Yeah.
Like you don't see me how I see myself. You see me how you see me.
Right. See, I totally agree. There is point of views and perceptional differences. But then, if this piece of whatever object you see here, okay, you are saying my mind is projecting this. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
mind is projecting this, but your mind is also seeing this.
Yeah, it's a separate projection.
But what is the reality of this phone? But you're saying our two projections created this phone.
But everybody's creating their own projection. Like I'm not seeing the exact same object as you.
Okay, fine. See, even if you say so, I'm not consciously projecting my phone, this thing, right? I consciously don't know that I'm projecting this. I am hypnotized, or I believe that this phone's projection is coming to my brain or mind, is what I
Right.
believe. And you're saying that's a lie.
No, it is, but everybody's doing that separately, and everybody thinks that you're seeing it together, but you're seeing it separately.
Okay. I'll go with that assumption because for me, wait, so that's what I'm trying to ask. That was my question. So I believe, as I
Because
told you,
you got to realize that you're not there as that individual. You're there as consciousness.
um, the individual consciousness or the universal consciousness.
The universal consciousness.
Oh, then there is no individual consciousness also.
Yeah, there's just one consciousness. Like
Okay.
separation is an illusion.
There is only one consciousness and separation is a illusion. There is
Yeah,
only,
because your your point of perception, like show me somebody else's point of perception.
yeah.
Can you show me somebody else's point of perception?
Um, I cannot show, but I believe their words. They
Do you,
see this is a black
if,
table
but even you thinking that there's somebody else there is your projection.
from the consciousness point of view.
Yeah, from the consciousness point of view. You as the consciousness are projecting the image of somebody else and
Hmm.
thinking that they're separate from you.
Okay, fine, sir. So, okay, so beautiful. We are arriving better now. There is one universal consciousness.
With many points of perception.
Okay, with many points of perception. That's a good point.
It's sort of like what is it? Indra's net. Have you heard of Indra's net? Like where everything is a reflection of everything else.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but let us. Indra's net, is it?
Like the universe is appearing within every atom.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I mean, uh, it might be possible, but that's what you believe.
That's what I know.
That was a tricky question which I asked, and you answered with your first-hand information, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there is one universal consciousness with many points of perception, including so J is one point of perception, William is another point of perception, and everything which has got like is every animal, mammal, fish also a points of perception because they also
Yes.
have consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a
Yes.
rock is not.
Well, the rock is like an inanimate piece of consciousness. It's still
Oh,
part of it's still part of consciousness because everything is consciousness. Everything's part of the projection.
no, no, wait a
You have to
second.
remember that source is the one that's projecting everything.
But
You know
how
that
is the source related with this consciousness? Are they the same? Or is one of the
yeah,
quality of the source
here,
is
here
consciousness?
let me rewind a little bit. You know how we were talking about the different bodies, like
Yeah,
the gross body.
yeah,
So if you take the gross body to the subtle body, like you're
yeah,
going from the world that you see, and you're understanding that that's an appearance within your mind because your senses are appearing within your mind.
yeah.
And then you know that your mind, you know, the thoughts that appear in your mind, there's also a silence. There's also a silence or a void out of which those thoughts are arising. So you're going back from the world to the kind of like the intellect, to the space out of which the intellect is appearing. And then there's an awareness of that silence in the mind or the thoughts in the mind. But there's also something that's aware of the awareness. You know, that's like, can the perceiver be perceived? That type of question.
Yeah.
So what you are is the source that's aware of the awareness of the void, or the awareness of the thoughts, or the awareness of the mind, or the awareness of the world. So it's all arising out of you in these different various layers. So when I say it's a projection, it's a projection. It's a projection of that source, which is beyond everything.
Okay, so let us see if I've captured your statement currently here. So this is the physical body, um, gross body, and this is the subtle body. Okay, and both the guys are in the consciousness. Like this is consciousness. If you say, let me see if I can make it darker. It's too dark. Um, oh, okay. So this is the grass body, subtle body. I think we should even remove this for now. Grass body, subtle body, which is all inside this wide consciousness. And then this is all seen by the awareness.
Well, there's the causal body. Do you have the causal body?
Grass body, subtle body, causal body is the consciousness, is it not?
It's like the void.
Okay, one second.
Out
Let
of,
me put it this way then. So then one second. So this is the wide space. Can you also call it space?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So there is grass body, subtle body, encompassing this is the void and space, and encompassing this is the awareness of this void.
Yes.
Okay. Now where is consciousness then?
It's all of it. And
Including.
what I'm saying is beyond that is the pure consciousness. Like this is everything that appears. Like even awareness can be seen by the pure consciousness.
Okay.
But you can't see the pure consciousness. You can only be it.
Okay.
And that ties in with what I said earlier about either everything is me or nothing is me. When you say nothing is me, then you become the pure consciousness.
Okay.
Because no matter what appears, even if there's an awareness of something, you're aware of the awareness. So you're beyond the entire experiencing.
Okay. So to take a step back, um, I believe I am the mind and the subtle body most of the day, waking daytime.
Mm-hmm.
But if I close my eyes and stay for a few seconds, I can see that all these thoughts comes and goes in this void. This
Right.
is simple, no big deal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now you're saying there's also a possibility that if I stay, I can also be aware of this void after some time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And that's it. If I stay there as the awareness, I can do that. But then can I also know that I am the pure consciousness? Can I?
You can be the pure consciousness. You can't know. Like knowing is being.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, okay. I got it. I can, that's actually a good statement. I can be the pure consciousness. But this statement is not valid for my body, mind, or even void or awareness. These things I know I cannot be that being. But when it comes to the being, then it's only for that adjective is only for the pure consciousness, right?
Well, you can. It depends on where you are in your understanding. Like you can be the awareness. You can be the awareness
Yeah.
of thoughts arising. Because a lot of people think that like they're being their thoughts. Like this is what I am. Like my
Yeah.
thoughts are here. That's what I am. So
Hmm.
it depends on what your understanding is
Okay.
or misunderstanding.
Okay.
I mean,
And
there is a pure being. It's just a beingness,
yeah.
but that's that's like the I am, the experiential like understanding of what's here. Like it's
Mhm.
the beingness.
Okay.
But there's also an awareness of the beingness.
Okay. So William, now let us see. Okay, the image is coming beautifully. I'm happy for that. And now you say the world is an appearance arising from my mind. You mean this individual mind, like Jay's brain? This world is being projected.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So it's not that you know what? Okay, so then this statement is correct. I believe that the forms and objects are real, that I am this body, mind, and person, and this table exists.
Yeah.
And this is corruption. This is the Maya.
Yes. Exactly. It's a limitation. You're buying into a limited point of perception that was never the truth. It's just an expression of the totality of the consciousness is being projected through you. Like think of like the light, the source is the light of consciousness. And the more that you think that you're there as something other than the light, the more distorted your idea of who you are is. If you hold no idea of who you are, just the light of consciousness comes through you. And that's why like you have the sages that are empty of that identity and they're just projecting the pure light without any distortion.
Hmm. Okay, so what you're saying is this this mind or the subtle body projects this millions of species and the earth and the universe and everything. It projects and it also believes I am a human form. I am an individual separate from that universe, physical
Mm-hmm.
universe,
Yeah.
right? Wow.
And it's just a thought. It's just a thought that I am this individual. And if you have the thought that I am the source, it pulls you back all the way back to the source. And then that's how you see the world, as the source. It's very simple. It's just changing your point of perception to understand that this is not who I am. I'm actually the source of all this. But we're so focused on the mind in terms of like trying to figure everything out
Yeah.
that we never move beyond that point of perception.
Hmm.
We never think we can change our point of perception.
Yeah. they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Do you agree with
Yeah.
you? Oh wow. So okay.
The thing is, you have to agree that the world is unreal.
Okay.
You have
Yeah.
to see it as a projection. If you want to understand the truth of who you are, then you can't take the experiencing to be the reality.
Right. See. Oh yeah. Actually, that's what you said. You are here. When I put this, that maps form, I'm here. I believe that the forms and objects are real, and I'm this body, mind, and the person. But if you say that, so my job is, or this personality, mind, thoughts, job is to see that the world is unreal. And for that, one of the exercise given is actually this exercise. I mean, I don't know how much you will also like this or not. So one of the exercises given is stay in stillness. Close your eyes, stay in stillness, and you see that all the thoughts comes inside your void.
Mm-hmm.
If you see that, then you can know that it's all illusion, which is all you created. So
Yeah.
okay, so now okay, you say we have to see that the world is unreal, and one of the exercise given to this is stay in stillness by closing your eyes. Actually, by closing your eyes after playing the role as a form. In the sense, see, if I'm a father or a husband or a son or whatever I am, right? I have to do my duty. After doing my duty, when after playing my role, when I have some free time, if I close my eyes and stay in stillness, stillness is a word they focus mainly. Stillness is like, that emptiness and void. You are using the
Mm-hmm.
word void and space. Is it same as stillness?
Yeah.
Can I?
You can. I
Okay.
mean, it depends on everybody's got a different definition. Stillness could be presence. It could be awareness,
Wow.
because
Super. You know
there's
what?
because
Okay.
because there's awareness of the void. So it's kind of,
Awesome. So what you are saying is the root solution or the first and the last step to know that you are the void and the awareness, and to start your, or to know that your timeless pure consciousness, what this mind has to do is it has to see that the world, the whole world, you know what, let me also put, if I can put the world, space, earth, cosmos, the world, everything, right? So um, I need to see this as a illusion, that it is unreal.
because
Yeah,
because you can see that the world is just an appearance. It's appearing out of something else.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not.
I believe
Yeah.
that the world is appearing from somewhere else. I'm not
Yeah.
projecting. This is what I
Right.
believe.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So, I mean, I should stop believing that I am only projecting this universe.
Yeah. If you want to understand the truth, like, of the source of where everything's coming from, you have to see this as the unreality. And, like, the reality has to be you, because you're the only thing that's not changing. Like, the appearances are all changing. The world is changing. It's just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
projection. You can have the void, or you can have something appearing within the void. My AirPods are dying. Hold on a second. I got you on speakerphone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can still. Yeah, thank you.
What was I saying? Oh, about the unreality.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sort of goes back to, the question, who am I, right?
Yeah.
You're turning the mind around instead of being externally, like everybody's mind is faced externally. They just see everything that their mind is seeing, the projection as the reality.
Yeah.
You turn your mind around, which is kind of what we're talking about. Turn it around and like look at a thought, and where is that thought arising out of? It's arising out of a void.
Yeah.
And there's an awareness that there's a void there.
Yeah.
So you know that whatever is appearing as the world is not real, because there's something prior to that that does not include the world. The void does not include the world. And there's an awareness of that void. And then there's an awareness of that awareness. And that's what you are, because that part never changes. I mean, even the awareness changes, because like in deep sleep, that awareness goes away in deep sleep. But you're still there as the source beyond all of it.
But what if I'm there only till my body? I don't know that, right? I don't know the past and the future. I only know my knowledge is based on the start of my body, and my parents told me, hey.
But this is what I'm saying, where you have to know, you have to be to know. Like you have to be that to know it. If you keep keep asking questions, like you're still caught within the projection.
Yeah.
That's why you have to see it, even this conversation, as like the unreality. You're not going to find the answer here in this communication.
But William, this is a starting point. You know what? If I take a printout of this and put it in my wall, and if I see this every single day for a few hours, stare at this, maybe then I look at the wall and say, look, am I projecting the wall, or is it there? Like if I keep asking this question, then maybe see, actually I have a taste of this void, William. Like when I close my eyes for a few minutes, I see thought comes and go. Like, so I might not be the thought. Like something is projecting, I don't know what it is. Thoughts come and go, and I can stay in this wide space, stillness, presence. That is not a huge challenge for me, honestly. I mean, that is my experience. That's easy. So I'm here till here, but then most of the day I'm very involved in the form and the mind, right? That is true. But then, in a sense, if I can stay in this void for some more time and be aware of this void, this is what I can do. And right?
Mm-hmm.
So this gives me clearest directions what I need to do. I need to stay in my wide space, stillness, presence. That's the only thing I can do.
But you don't have. But you don't have to. You don't have to do that.
Because
it's still part of the unreality.
But I can never know that if I have hundreds of ambitions. If I have.
But that's why I said you have to go back to the original point of either everything is me or nothing is me. Because if you think that you have all these things to do as an individual, you're always going to be caught within that idea of that identity, trying to figure out what you need to do to stay in the void or stay here or go there. It's still part of the illusion. Like you're an illusion. The thing is, you have to make a decision. Like, am I going to forego the idea that the world is real?
See,
most people don't want to do that.
No, but I'm willing to do that if it is the see, as JK says, I want to know the true as true, false as false. If this world is created, projected by me, if it is the truth, then so be it. I'm not fearing to know the truth. I'm okay, but I don't know it yet. I'm willing to have an open mind. That see, if you tell this to any of the 7 billion people that look, you are projecting the world, they will be mad at you. But I'm sincerely open to this idea. Maybe it is true because hundreds of people across thousands of years are saying this thing.
So
Maybe
you can't,
it's
you
true.
can't you can't say maybe it's true. You
I
have
do
to
not know, William.
you
So
have to have
I
you,
cannot bet my money on this yet.
you have to have complete conviction that
I know.
yeah
So
you have to give up the doubt.
yeah. So giving up the doubt is I need step-by-step confidence, right? Like even
You
myself.
have to you can't ask for anything
Okay.
because
So
anything that you're asking for is keeping you caught within the illusion, keeping you caught within the identity that needs something.
wait a second, William. There might be one difference. Please hear me out on this thing. There might be one difference.
Sure,
See,
sure.
let us assume I am caught in this illusion that I want to be the richest guy in my town. Okay, I want to be the richest guy in my town, which is a valid desire for all 7 billion people. Everybody start become rich, buy car, buy this thing, be the greatest guy, be ambitious. Like
Yeah,
ambition is very supported in the society. Be ambitious. Like it is
yeah,
appreciated to be ambitious. Okay. So
yeah,
now if I have a desire to be the richest guy in my town, then I have to work hard till my death, right? So then I
yeah,
don't have time for anything else. I don't have time to hug my child. I don't have time to smell a flower. I don't even have time to stay as wide, because instead of staying as wide for 10 minutes in a day, I would rather go running and becoming richer, right? And there are other guys becoming richer. So if I chase this ambitious idea that I want to be richer, then there is no way I'm going to spend a time for my wide or space and stillness and to get a taste of it. Okay. Now let us assume you come and tell me, hey, look, that wideness is your next step. If you say that, then there is a 1 in a million possibility. Like see, even the statement that you are the universe, you are the wholeness, million people have heard in this world. But why did it affect only Nisargadatta Maharaj?
because he had the conviction. He had the conviction that
Right,
that's what
right.
he was.
That conviction, why it came to him and why not to million people?
Because he had trust, complete faith in
Fine.
his in
Why
his in his
why
guru.
why this poor, uneducated, simple grocery store guy had that conviction and the trust on that guy, and his teacher was telling it to 100 other people? Why only he had the conviction, trust, or whatever you're calling?
I mean, if you're going to go that route and ask, then you'll never have the same conviction. You know what I mean?
No, my point is there's always a starting point for this journey.
Yeah, but the starting point has to be the ending point.
I'll just pick up this call for a minute.
Sure, sure. No problem.
Girish, I'm in a meeting. What is this about? Yeah. Ask Satya and let her decide. I'm okay. Oh, it's only you and me, is it? Okay. What time you want to leave? Okay. I'm most probably okay. What time you want? Let us leave by 2 o'clock ish. By far. I'll confirm in another 1 hour. Don't book before that. Bye. Sorry, William. I have this bad habit of taking anybody's call because I don't know the urgents. Okay. So, but
See, there has to be no buts. If you keep the door open a little bit, like
hmm,
the door of doubt, if it's
hmm,
slightly open,
hmm,
then there's no way,
hmm.
because you are already you're already the source. Like if you do the who am I, you know that everything's arising out of you.
Hmm.
You know, the void is there, and the void's arising out of something else that's aware of the awareness of the void. So it's having the conviction that that's what I am. And no matter what anybody else says or anybody else is doing, it doesn't matter, because I know what I am.
Hmm.
And the more that you hold that conviction, the more that the stuff that's not you dissolves. And, you know, part of that thing that I said earlier about everything is me or nothing is me helps with the dissolution, because you're not caught within the separation anymore. There's no you there to doubt anything. You're just part of the consciousness.
Hmm.
So that's why, like Nisargadatta said, it's very important to stop dividing life into parts, because you need to simplify
Hmm.
the process. And it's not even a process, it's just the conviction.
Hmm. Give me 1 second. I'll close this window. It's too much noisy.
Sure.
Thank you. But even for Nisargadatta Maharaj, right, he took 3 years. But even though his guru said, trust me, you are
Yeah,
the guru. In
it
1
takes
minute, it did not happen.
it takes time for the dissolution of the identity. You know, it's like you know what I think it was Ramana said. It's like when you cut the ceiling fan power off,
Yeah,
like
it takes some
the
time.
fan's still gonna spin for a little while.
Hmm.
But that's where you have to really be strong and like hold that conviction,
Hmm.
because your mind's gonna keep coming in and like asking, like, are you sure about this? You know, it's gonna keep trying to redirect you away from the conviction. And it's like almost like testing. It's trying to do its job by making sure that you really know who you are, by offering you all these different things like that you can follow. So there is something to, like, I spend a lot of time kind of by myself, and it helps where you're not like Siddha Rameshwar Maharaj talks about indulging in body consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
He says if you're going to keep indulging in body consciousness, then it's going to be very difficult
Okay.
for you to come to understand that you're the formless awareness of the form.
Hmm.
Because you keep indulging in body consciousness and you kind of keep losing that point of perception.
Just give me 1 second. Okay, let us make this as red. Okay, let this stay. So, at least to go back to summarize this, I think I am a separate individual, but in actuality, the world is a projection appearance arising from my own mind.
Uh-huh.
This is this is the root cause of the problem, right? Until I see this world is my projection, but I am the pure. If I can be the pure consciousness after seeing that I'm the void and awareness, so this is the path of, I don't know if I should use the word salvation or to know the reality. The path of
Yeah.
knowing the reality is that I currently believe I'm the form, objects are real, and I'm this body, but they're actually my own mind's projection, like a dream, right?
Yeah.
Inside my
Yep.
dream, the whole dream is projected. There's no reality for the dream. Inside the reality, it looks like it is real. Sorry,
Yeah.
inside the dream, it looks like real, but like, from outside the dream, it never existed. There's no reality for it, right? So if I can somehow,
One other thing too about like the unreality that kind of makes it very clear is like show me the conversation that we had like a half hour ago. Like it doesn't exist. Like there is no past.
hmm,
So that's how you can understand that it's a projection, because you can't go back and recapture anything that has happened. The projection is it's coming and going instantaneously. There's no reality to hold on to. You can't hold on to anything within the experiencing.
but if I get a loan of $1,000 from somebody, he is going to come back and ask me, and I should be prepared to return it.
Yeah, but that's a new moment. It's not a continuation. I mean, it appears to be a continuous thing within the illusion.
Yeah.
But again, like try to show me like what you did yesterday. Like,
But then, see, even I'm recording this. So tomorrow, if I show this to somebody, they're going to say, yeah, this happened. Is what they're going to tell me, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
that's also just happening within that current moment. You still are not going back.
Yeah, yeah.
I think somebody said it's similar to like a TV screen where the pixels just keep regenerating
Yeah.
in that moment. It's still the same screen, but the pixels are just reappearing.
Hmm. They're projections in the mind.
Yeah. Your mind just keeps reforming the projection.
So the thoughts are mind projection, the dreams are mind projection. This 100% easy to logically see, right? See,
Yeah.
I met you last year. This is in my thought, also in
Mhm.
your thought. If I ask you, hey, William, did I meet you last year? You are going to say, yeah. So it is in my mind only. It is in your mind, and somebody else, like say my mother who is in India, she might not even know that. If somebody asks, did Jay meet William? She's going to say, I don't know.
Right.
She doesn't know. It's not in your mind. So, but so this easily proves that it is a mind shown unreal thing. This is easy to know. So
Mhm.
whatever dream 100% everybody easily knows is unreal. Whatever mind shows, at least some of us know it is unreal.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a mind created projection. It doesn't have a reality on its own, but it is recorded in human mind. If it is
Right.
erasing, like I can be forgotten also, right? This is okay. But this physical world is also a projection of this mind that is a hard pill to swallow. But if it is real, then obviously I have to see it. I will work hard to see that if it is so. But I'm even trying to, I mean, even being clear that whatever mind projected thing itself uh, is is actually tough. You know what? All of the trauma happens to a person is recorded in the mind and mind projection. As you say, the TV pixel recreating that image. It's not
Mhm.
real. So let us say I have a trauma 10 years ago, something happened, and I recall today and I cry today, right? See, this happens to all billion people in the world, I believe, that they had some insult or a failure or a trauma 10 years ago, and they recall and see. But now, because I have some knowledge, sometimes I come out of it saying that, hey, look, this is just a thought. It is unreal. That guy who insulted me 10 years ago, most probably is dead. I don't even know. Oh, why should I bring him? So it's a mind's projection. I need not worry about it. I say this to myself, and then I come out of the trauma. But I know many people, they think they want to take revenge, even after 10 years.
Yeah.
As yeah.
It's because they're indulging in body consciousness. Because if you actually like look back 10 years ago, what's the one constant between now and 10 years ago is the awareness of that moment. Like only the awareness is the same. Everything else has changed, but the awareness of that moment is still the same. So that formlessness that is watching the experiencing has the choice of either indulging in the experience or removing themselves from the experience and just being the observer of it. I mean, it's always there, but we're just not conscious that the awareness is there. So that's why it's like a difference of either you're indulging in body consciousness or you're resting in the formless awareness of the experience. Like it's a choice that you actually have, but nobody understands that because they're lost within kind of the combination of the consciousness with the body consciousness.
William, why do you say it's a body consciousness? Because that guy insulted me 10 years ago and it's still a memory, right?
Yeah, but that's part of the body.
Oh, you mean, but it's a thought. I mean, thought is subtle.
You can either go with a thought or you can sit there and observe it. Like you don't have to go with it.
But I'm so attached. It looks like real. That guy insulted me. Now, if I recall, then I go like inside a dream, right? I don't know that this is a dream. This is like
well, that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. Like the whole problem is people go with the dream and take it as the reality, as opposed to being there as the witness of it and just watching it and observing it and knowing that none of this is me. This is not who I am.
This is a deep statement.
And the thing is, you're not controlling the projection at all.
Like the dream.
Yeah.
I'm so involved in the dream. I don't know. I am projecting the dream.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even know that you are the dream.
Yeah. Somehow I am the reason for the running of the show, of the dream show.
You mean like as the source of it?
Yeah. Like
yeah.
The dream happens inside me. I mean, as a lay person, I can say, look, the dream happened to me. But I am the reason. If I don't exist, there's no dream. So I am the reason for those dreams. The dreams happens in me.
Yeah.
And I believe I am part of the dream. That is the problem. That me is inside the dream. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's why like there's people like Robert Adams who say do nothing. Like don't do anything to try to understand. Because the any doing that you have keeps you caught within the illusion.
But I think somewhere J. Krishnamurti says these words are like a mirror. Unlike the quality of any object in this world or universe, like any object, mirror has got one unique capability. That is, it doesn't show itself. It doesn't show one. Like it
Right.
doesn't show myself to me. Like what am I? So
Hmm.
take these words. These words are like the mirrors which show to you yourself. At the end of seeing yourself, don't garland the mirror. Don't worship the mirror. Break the
Right.
mirror.
Yes.
Its job is done. You see
Yeah.
your face now, move away.
Yeah.
Don't worship the mirror or hold on to the mirror or garland the mirror or insult the mirror. Nothing. These words shows you to you. That is the unique quality of these words. So, William, it's a good thing, right? So this is unlike any word which will take one away. Like sorry, unlike anything, any object in this universe which takes one away from oneself, these words which speaks about myself are helpful. Instead of throwing everything away, I still believe this could be an illusion, whatever you call it. For me, I'm holding on to these words to know myself. Some days these words may show me the truth, or if I follow these words, even the word neti neti, that not this, not that, not this, someday might end show me to myself. That is my desire, if you want to call it.
Yeah, but if you want it shown to yourself, then that means you're still there expecting something. Like, and that part of you will never go away as part of the illusion.
But this illusion is better than the other illusion of me or other ambition of me becoming the richest person of the town. If I decide to be the richest person in the town, then I'm never going to see, I will never have time to see myself. But at least now, I'm,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I agree with you,
yeah,
but at some point you have to just stop and say that
sure.
that I know that this version that's appearing as part of the appearance is not who I am.
Hmm,
So I can't get it through anything within the experiencing.
hmm.
I have to know that I'm prior to the experiencing, and anything that appears is not me. So I just have to stop trying and just understand with that conviction, like we talked about earlier, that I am the source. Because if you're still looking from that point of perception of the individual, you're still buying into the idea that the illusion can come to understand, like the dreamer can, like the dream can awaken the dreamer. Like, it's not going to happen.
No, you say it's not going to happen.
Yeah, like the what am I trying to say? The one in the dream is never going to awaken as the dreamer. Like, you're just part of the dream. You have to awaken outside of the dream as being, I'm beyond this. Not like the dream understanding something is not going to awaken the dream.
Yeah,
It's still part of the dream.
yeah. Okay, but at least this image summarizes um, your insights.
Okay.
This image, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong. There is nothing you don't agree here, right? So you agree with whatever is in this left side image, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really see what you wrote, but if it's just everything we spoke about, then that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not share. Oh, I stopped sharing. Oh,
No, it's
I'm
sharing, but
sharing it.
it's too small. I can't see it. I got you on my phone.
Oh, is it possible to come onto a computer screen later or now?
Is there something that you can just like shoot me an email or something, like an image of it?
Yeah. I can easily do that. But
And I'll
oh, I thought you were looking at them. Okay. You know what? No, actually, my intention is to create this image while you are looking and correcting. It's not that I do it and then I send it to you and then you say, no, no, this is wrong. No, I would prefer. Okay. Uh, is
You
it
want to
possible to
you want
come?
to just read it to me like real quick, like what you have?
Um, I can, but still, it will be better if you do it with a bigger monitor so that you see this and then I read out and I do this. So, when can you come for a big screen chat?
When are you available?
Now is the time. I'm available for the whole day. Today is a holiday anyway.
I have to get my laptop all set up.
Sure. Like 10, 15 minutes later, you want to rejoin the same Zoom, please.
Um,
Or even now. I'm going to stay in the Zoom. I mean, till evening, I'm free only today. Today is a holiday here, by the way. I think the same in US.
can we do it at like 1 o'clock?
Sure. One
I'm gonna grab
o'clock.
something to eat real quick.
Yes, please, please. So uh, uh, now it is 10:30 for me. It means 12:30 for you. So just half an hour later.
Yeah, like 25 minutes.
Sure, 100%, William.
Yeah,
We'll meet. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab a bite to eat and then I'll log back on.
sure.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. I'll stay here. You can continue whenever you come back.
All right. I'll see you in a bit.
Thanks a lot. Bye for now. Hey, Williams,
Yeah.
you're back. Thank you. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
And can you see my screen in a big screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So now, let us to this today's what September 5th, 05A. Okay, so let me still make this simple. Yeah, can I do any full screen? I don't know. F11, it says. One second. Yeah, so this is like bigger screen still. I removed the other top parts. Okay, so let's go step by step here, Williams, and let's go slow because this is the first time we are trying to do this. So what I understood and I'm trying to draw here is that we have a gross body and a subtle body which contains the one second, let me pull this guy down. Okay, we have a gross body and we have this subtle body which contains the thought, personality, words, and labels. Um, is there anything else you want to add? Mind as a whole, right?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Mind as a whole. Now, in this mind, this is me. I'm here currently. All 7 billion people, or most of the 7 billion people, we believe that the forms and objects and the millions of species and the space and the earth are real. I am one form of body, and I am this body, mind, and I am this person, and I'm separate from the physical external world. I am separate.
Right. Right.
Okay, so far so good. Now this is what we 7 billion people believe. Now there are some masters who come and say, hey, look, you are not your body or mind or form. You have to see that the world is unreal projection or an appearance arising from one's own mind, is what the basic statement they are telling us, or including you, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? So this is fundamental earthquake for normal people like me, which is saying, no, like I can see this table, I can see this phone, and I have responsibilities, I have emotions, I should make money. My parents instilled this ambition in me. My wife demands this. My son has to go to college, right? So I, right? This whole projection dream I live. But then some masters come and say, hey, look, no, what you see is like they don't have any reality. Only you are real. Everything appears from you. Okay. This okay. Till now, this image is valid. Now, the next thing is you're also saying this mind and body is actually in something called void or space or presence. If you close your eyes and for a few minutes, if you see, then you will know that I am the source of all these. I can see from the void point of view. And then
Right.
if they stay for some more time in the void, we can also see that there is I am actually not even this void, but I am the awareness which is watching this void in which these thoughts come and go. I, who thought is the subtle body initially, will know that I'm not this body, I'm not none of this projection, but I'm that void in which all these things appears. And after that, if you keep watching that, you will know that there is an awareness which is encompassing this wideness, which is encompassing this mind and projected worlds and objects. So I will know that I'm the awareness.
Yep.
And if I stay in that awareness, then I know that I am the pure consciousness, which is one universal one with many points of projection. And this consciousness cannot be known, but it is the being. I know that I am the being. I am the being, which is consciousness. So have I summarized your point of view in this one image?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah. Looks good.
Thank you. Okay. Awesome. So many of your tweets and your insights I can fit in somewhere here. And then you know what? Fundamentally, whatever you say and any of the Advaita gurus say, it is core is this statement that I believe in the forms and objects are real and I'm this body, mind, and person. But in actuality, the void projects all these things. This is
That's
the
right.
core thing, right?
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, so this is this one image explains most of this thing, which is a starting point. So now my point is, if somehow, okay, now for this, one of the technique I've heard is do your do your duty, get some free time, and close your eyes and stay in stillness. Then a door will open to you. Is one of the advice I've heard from one of the other masters.
Mhm.
Um, that looks logical and okay to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a tool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like Nathi is a tool, for example.
yeah. Yeah.
Right. And some
Or everything is me, nothing, you know, both sides of that. Everything is me.
you know what? That for me, it is more painful to see everything is me. But
Yeah.
actually it is easy for me to see nothing is me.
Everybody has a preference.
Right, right. So there's only two doors you can say for this thing, right? The bhakti door and this logical thinking door. For me, knowing that this like spoon is also
There,
me.
let me say one thing about that. That though, like, if you're saying that because like you don't want to see like the difficult things in life as being part of you,
Okay.
then you're creating a barrier for
Separation.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not accepting the way things are.
Yeah.
You don't even want to look at it that way. That I'm actually part of that. Like that Trump is part of me. Like as you.
Beautiful. Right. I think in that book, Hissen Hissen Ming, the song of Sosan, one
Mhm.
of the line is, like and dislike is the disease of the mind.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to come to see like where is your sticking point? Where
Yeah.
are you getting caught within the
Yeah.
mind's preference of one thing over another?
Hmm. Like and dislike, both are disease of the mind.
So
Dislike
that's why if you prefer neti neti, you actually may need to go the other way.
to balance it out.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Like that's what you have to do. You have to be smarter than like your own mind. Like you have to see where it's starting to try to hide
Hmm.
in non-acceptance of some type of experience. Like, can you love the things that you don't want to love?
Hmm.
And that doesn't mean that you have to act on that and like support the things that you don't like, but
Hmm.
you still have to have like a love for it as it's arising out of you. This is coming from you, and you have to have a love because you're creating it. It's your creation.
Oh, the like and dislike is also mind's creation, obviously. So the like and dislike I thought mind has got this like and dislike, but then mind projects this like and dislike.
Yeah, because there is no inherent good or bad. It's it's all the projection of the individual.
Projection of the individual.
Yeah, like somebody may love Trump and somebody may hate Trump. It's a projection. Like you're projecting your preference. So there's no reality to it.
So William, how did this individual came to be then?
It's just an accumulation of conditioning. There's no reality other than the thoughts. Like if you take the thoughts away, where are you?
So there is nothing other than thoughts.
There's nothing to the individual other than thoughts.
Oh, then there's only wholeness.
There's wholeness. Yeah.
Unexplainable, one, undivisible, timeless wholeness.
Yes.
Which cannot be known. Or there's nothing called knowing when it comes to this indivisible one.
Correct. Yeah, because if there's something that knows itself, then that's two.
Sorry, if something knows.
Like there has to be two for something to know something else.
Oh, there has to be two separate from one to know the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be two to know the other. So the one cannot know. The one.
Correct. Yeah.
There's nothing called knowing when it comes to the one. And that one is pure consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now how can you label that one as the pure consciousness? Or why?
It's being labeled within the unpure consciousness. Like you know that that's not really the reality of it. It's happening within the mind. But since you know that you're beyond the mind in terms of you, because that's what you're being, then you can look at what's happening within the experience and you can do whatever you want with it. But you know it's the unreality. It's just whatever's appearing. Like, you know, somebody trying to explain it to somebody, like you know that it's the unreality of what you're explaining, but you're trying to use the unreality to move somebody beyond the illusion, to let go of the illusion and understand what they actually are, because they're already there. Like everybody's coming from the same place. Everybody's already there. Every single person is the source projecting itself already. Like nobody has to do anything to change it. They just have to know that they're a projection.
The source is projecting. 1 second. The source is the pure consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second. The one source. Okay, so this source is only creating this awareness and creating this void and projecting, I mean, creating the subtle body mind and
Mm-hmm.
allowing all these things to be projected.
Yeah, so if you start with yourself and work backwards, you're source.
Yeah.
There's no difference. There's no difference between somebody that knows and somebody that doesn't know. It's the same source coming through.
From the source's point of view, the timeless.
Yeah.
The timeless. And they also speak about this Sat Chit Ananda. So this is also the truth then? The truth?
Yeah, that's
The
kind
reality,
of like
the one reality, the one truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that takes care of Sat. Chit. By any chance, do you know what is this Chit they refer?
So it's, what is it? It's existence, consciousness, bliss, right?
Existence, consciousness, bliss. Okay, yeah, the consciousness. Oh, that's the pure consciousness.
Yeah, because you have the existence, which is here, the pure consciousness, and then the culmination of both is the bliss.
So existence, consciousness is this. Anyway, let me just write it down. Consciousness, bliss. And one of the quality of this pure consciousness is bliss, is it?
Mhm.
Now, see, then can the subtle body know what is bliss?
It's going to experience it.
If it becomes the pure consciousness only.
If it realizes that it already is.
Okay, so you're saying the subtle mind somehow know that it is not this form, and it convinces itself or sees the truth that this is projecting by itself, but
It,
actually
it's
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 source.
it's it sees that everything that is here is not the reality. Like that's kind of how it transforms into the bliss.
Yeah, see.
And that's why they say it's like to be nothing is like the most blissful thing. I don't know if you've heard people like
Yeah.
sages say that. Yeah, because when you know you're not anything that exists, you're completely free of the constraints of the experience, and it's like a complete freedom of like it's I can't even explain it.
Yeah. And many places Osho also says this whole thing is a cosmic joke.
Mm-hmm.
When you know that, you will laugh.
Yeah.
You will be bliss.
Yeah, they say you throw your head back and laugh at the sky.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because it's not so serious anymore. It's like you're not going to die. Like there's no death.
It's like the Leela. Leela in Indian words, actually it just means a play for fun. Like
Yeah,
with no intention, with no goal, with no
yes.
theme.
And you can just enjoy however,
Yeah.
however it moves, it moves.
Yeah.
You're not
Feeling.
grasping at anything.
Yeah.
And you don't actually even have to do anything to be happy or to be blissful. It's already there. That's why like a lot of like sages don't do much. Like Ramana, I think Ramana said like people that are realized, they don't go to fancy resorts. Like it's just like you don't do that. Like you don't need to.
Yeah. Let me ask you one silly question, William.
Yeah.
What if this pure consciousness, instead of being bliss, what if it is horror? What if it is pain? What if it is sorrow? What if? It can be.
You mean like from your point of view, like of not knowing it?
Yeah, not knowing it. What if? I mean, the pure conscious can be anything. Now, sitting here as a mind, so you are telling me, hey, look, this pure conscious, your reality is bliss, right? For
Yeah.
me, it's just a statement. I don't know that. It is just words. But
It was
then,
funny. I was listening to a talk by Muji the other day, and somebody kind of asked the same question,
oh,
like
okay,
similar question, and
okay,
his answer was like, if you're having such a good time as you are, like as the individual, then that's fine. Just stay there. Like I'm not asking you
okay.
to search for something if you're already completely happy the way that you are.
Yes, okay. Well, my starting point is sorrow.
Mm.
Okay. Super. Yeah. So.
And another thing too that you can point to a lot of the times is deep sleep. Like when you go into deep sleep, it's
Yeah.
basically the same. It's basically the same thing. You feel good after you've had a good deep sleep. There's no horror.
But that could be something to do with the body's rest, right? The body wanted rest, and then body comes back refreshed. So I feel happy. Is it not?
Mm,
I mean, that's what we all think. Like the normal people think body was tired, it worked hard, and then it want to repair itself, and then it want to relax. Okay, then
But you can also say that there was no horror that you suffered by going to that place.
see, we also, yeah, most of the time, yes, except the nightmares.
Well, the nightmares are not, that's not the pure consciousness. That's part of the subtle body.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're in that deep sleep, you didn't experience a horror when you went into deep sleep.
Right. So you are saying, but then the mind is what is happy that it went to sleep and it came back, right? So mind is happy,
The
and
mind
mind
feels
says,
the mind feels refreshed because it wasn't here.
you are insulting the mind. When there's no mind, there is happiness.
Exactly. See, it's the same exact thing.
This statement is an insult to the mind.
Yeah, but it gets
You
gets
don't care
over it.
anyway.
It gets over it.
No, obviously, your whole point is to destroy this mind only. I mean, the whole mind is like unreal. It is the root cause of all pains. It
Yeah,
is the
but it's also helping you too. It's helping you to come to that realization at the same time, like through the suffering.
so the mind is what is realizes.
Is what?
Is mind is what realizes that it's actually not. It's not its reality, but pure consciousness is its reality.
Well, the
No,
mind is redirecting you back to the reality by giving you the suffering of being here as the mind.
wait a second. Mind is redirecting one to consciousness by seeing the suffering.
Yeah, by experiencing the suffering.
Correct. Sorry, not even seeing. It's actually experiencing.
Because if there was no suffering, then nobody would really look
Right.
for
But then
something else.
mind is redirecting what towards consciousness?
The consciousness back to its source.
Mind is redirecting consciousness. Wait, mind is redirecting consciousness to itself. To consciousness, let us put it that way. Mind is redirecting consciousness to consciousness by experiencing the suffering. But isn't the consciousness the whole powerful, the grandfather of this mind? How can this thing which is created can tell what it created?
Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's coming from the creator. It is the creator. It's an expression of the creator. So the creator is doing it. The creator's creating it. That's why they say it's like a game of like hide and seek. The consciousness is playing hide and seek with itself.
Right. I think some Adams, I said, this consciousness is so smart and so intelligent in its own hide and seek that it has forgotten that it only started it because it's so smart.
Yes.
Right.
And you have to become like smarter than all of that.
So mind has a huge responsibility then.
It does.
To be smarter than what it created.
Yeah. But it is what it created is it. It's the same thing, you know.
Okay.
It's just an expression of it. It's not separate from it. It's still it.
Let me ask you one more silly question. When there is mind, where is consciousness? When let's say I'm thinking, okay, now I should go and eat a good lunch. I'm thinking, right? There's a mind. Should I eat lunch? Should I go like a resort or all those things I'm thinking, right? And then let us say I'm choosing, let me have and go to a fancy restaurant and have lunch. When this thinking is happening, this conclusion is happening, where is consciousness?
It's still there. It's happening. It's all happening concurrent.
Concurrent?
Concurrently, it's all happening at the same time. You can think of like an antenna,
Yeah.
one of those antennas that goes up and down. Like when the antenna is like all the way up, you're up there as the person.
Yeah.
But all the way at the bottom is still the pure consciousness is still there. So if you retract the antenna, take the person out, take the mind out, take the void out, pull it all the way back down, there's the consciousness pure. It's just an extension. Just think of it as like an extension coming out.
Okay. So it's like the screen example. Whether there's an image or not, the screen is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always there.
So it's concurrently there, always there. Even if the image is there or not, the screen is there.
Yeah. Like there's like a saying that like the wind needs the sky, but the sky does not need the wind. It's kind of what they say.
Okay, so then let us extend this theory, right? So now consciousness want to play, hide, and seek, and became the mind. And then
I mean that's kind of like what do they call that? An anthropomorphic projection. Like you're giving a human like quality to something that doesn't have quality like that.
Yeah.
So it's just an idea. I'm not saying that that's the motive of the consciousness to do that. It's just it's another projection.
No, like trillions and trillions of animals and birds and fishes. This one consciousness is living through each of these. If you look from an elephant's point of view, the world is going to be different, right? But then, then that extends my question. So the humans, the people, they think we read about Advaita and we do all these things and we search and there is spirituality and then all these things are happening using language and thinking. Then does an elephant ever care to become the wholeness?
No, because they don't have that capability in mind. Yeah.
No. Maybe they don't have the separation.
Yeah, they don't, because they're not thinking I'm an elephant. They're just thinking that I'm here.
Okay. So why only humans search to the wholeness?
Because we're the only ones that have the capacity, capacity of the mind. Yeah, capacity of the mind to self-reflect.
Have the capacity of the mind to self-reflect. Then self-reflection is a big deal. It's a huge capability.
It's the who am I question.
Yeah. For who am I is a great capability of human mind. Okay, so now to go back there, consciousness wanted to play hide and seek, and so it became this trillions and trillions of forms. It did not become, it is. The consciousness is this trillions of forms, and their mind, I mean, it became that awareness in the void and it became their mind. And then for humans, because of suffering, the human minds start asking question, hey, I am having this suffering, I cannot bear this, there should be a way out, there should be a solution, I hate this. And then they ask question, okay, who am I? And then they keep searching, and somehow they reach this pure consciousness, and then they know the reality, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, see, you also knowing that you are actually this consciousness, you still use your mind. I mean, for talking, to
Yeah.
save money, to
I mean,
make
I,
money,
I
buy food. Yeah.
I don't use it as much as I used to.
Okay.
Just like more of a relaxation of allowing life to move instead of trying to plan everything out.
Yeah.
So the mind is a lot more quiet. And it's more of like things are just arising in that moment of whatever's happening there. It's not a lot of like inner chatter, like thinking about what has to be done. Or opinions. Like there's not a lot of opinions. There's not a lot of like judgment. All that stuff just starts to quiet down because you're not looking at like separate. I mean, there are things that flare up. You know, somebody comes and like pushes me or something.
Yeah.
There's going to be a reaction. Like
Okay.
there's going to be an emotional reaction. But after the thing's over, I'm not going to be like home, like thinking about it. Like
how to take revenge.
Yeah. It's just going to be like, all right, this is just something that happened. If there was no harm, no foul, it's over. You move on.
Okay, so okay, William. Then to come back to that insight, let me ask you this question. Now, whatever 30, 40 years, you were here, believing that forms and objects are real. I'm this body and this mind and person. If somebody insults me, I should take revenge. Normal, one of the 8 billion people, and you don't want suffering or sorrow. You want pleasure and happiness. That's what you are here. Okay. And somehow I want to know your journey. You were here like all of us, and then as of now you know that you are actually the pure consciousness and the being, and all these things are a projection, and you are self-sufficient in the sense when it comes to your yourness. You're not lacking anything. In that sense you are self-sufficient, like inside, right? Whatever happened in the outside, you know that, hey, look, it's just a projection or appearance. Fine, thank you, right? Even if a million people die, you are not going to cry next day. Like even if your closest relative dies or your house is on fire,
you still have feeling for the experiencing because you see it more as like your child. If you don't want your child to die.
But then in that sense you're also like a normal person. No, wait, how can there be a child if you are consciousness?
It's because you're allowing the projection to be as it is.
Oh, so then okay, even though,
I mean, you can go either way. You can just
so you are shifting between these two, pure consciousness and
shift between
mind.
the two.
Okay,
you have the choice of going either way.
I see. Okay, and just because you accepted this projection, right? When you say you are a mind, then you are accepting all the things this mind projects, which is a self projection. Your consciousness, then your own one of the trillion self projection is William, right? When you take this role or the projection of William, and let us say your loved one is having fever or trouble, physical pain, then this mind's projection is your loved one's physical pain, and then you will do your level best to alleviate the pain.
Right.
But you can also be the consciousness, and you can also project, and not only you project yourself, you project your cousin also who is under pain, and then you will actually go and help that projection also.
Yeah, it gets back to the antenna thing where you can move however you want to move on the antenna. Like if you want to be the pure consciousness, you're just there as the pure witness, just witnessing everything.
Okay, and is it also between this void and awareness, or it's only between pure consciousness and the mind?
Well, the void, you don't really stay in the void.
Okay.
It's not really an active center.
Okay. But the journey to go to pure consciousness is through knowing your void and awareness and then pure consciousness. But then
Yeah.
once you know pure consciousness, then from pure consciousness to the subtle body, sorry, the mind is what the phase change is happening.
Say that one again.
Phase change, like you are, I mean, phase is like from
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
from ice to water, water to ice,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what
Phase,
I think
phase.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says. Like
Gotcha.
you are the actual ocean, but somewhere the ice is also formed, like a form, and then you live as the ice, and then but then you melt back, and then you form, melt back, right? So
Yeah.
that's what you mean
And that's
between.
and the thing is, you don't get stuck in the ice. Like you don't
Ah,
get stuck in the ice. You're able to release the ice like a lot quicker. Maybe the ice will form real quick if
okay.
something happens. Somebody comes, like I said, and pushes you. The ice may form real quick, where you're pulled into the experience, but then it recedes very quickly.
Hmm. You know what? Quickly, I actually did not get that analogy of retracting antenna. Um, I'm just, searching in the internet. Like, did you say retracting antenna?
And antenna,
Yeah,
antenna. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I just want. Oh, that thing which they pull out and pull in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Ah,
on a car, like the old cars where the antenna used
oh,
to go
yeah,
up
yeah.
and down.
Old radio. When I was a kid, like when I put
Yeah.
on the radio,
Yes.
then the
Yes.
sound will be clearer and better. Oh.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of how it works. You just move up and down.
Thank you. See, when I grew up, like when the TV antennas came up, right? It was like this, right?
Okay.
It was like
Yeah.
this. Then I was thinking, like, how? What do you mean by retracting and contracting? I could not like comprehend.
You
Uh,
like the portable radios. They used to have
yes,
the
yes,
the
yes. When I
antenna.
was a kid, it's called telescopic antenna.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. See, the power of internet is so good. Okay, so like a telescopic antenna, these two guys retract. Consciousness and mind retracts. Also like ice on a ocean.
And the thing is that like the pure consciousness doesn't actually do anything. Like it's not involved in the experience.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Pure conscious. So
Because
then who initiates the mind then?
I mean it's all initiated out of the pure consciousness.
Without the
But
knowledge of the pure consciousness.
yeah.
Because there's no knowing there. Can you speak something a little bit more about how this pure consciousness becomes mind and goes back? Like who initiates it? Like is it pure Maya for fun, or like what else can you say about that?
I can't really say of a reason why.
Okay.
Why does it appear? I can't give you a reason.
Okay. Now the problem is why it doesn't appear also we don't know.
Why does what?
Why they can't. Okay, see, now let's assume consciousness stays as consciousness, no form, no nothing.
Mhm.
Then also we cannot go and ask consciousness, hey, why you are not creating forms?
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah, that's
if
the
consciousness creates form also, we cannot go and ask, hey, why you are creating forms?
it's true. It's a problem.
Okay, fine, sir. Okay, so now, okay, so to go back to what we initiated, now we project ourselves, but we think it is real, but then we have to see that we are only projecting. So one of the technique they given is stay in stillness, okay, and other technique is neti neti.
Mhm.
And these are techniques, but then and we also know that like and dislike, like and dislike is the disease of the mind, based on his and ming. Okay, so this I will put it here and I'll put it in red. because this is a dangerous thing. I mean, I mean, it is for fun or whatever, but this is a problem. Okay, so background color is, let's put this red. Okay, so this is also red. We believe, and then like and dislike, we do. So if you do any like and dislike, also we will go astray. I mean, we will this thing. So, but at least there are techniques, and even, and then I believe you also will agree. Words which are like mirrors, which show one's mind's function. This is good.
Mhm.
Um, say, for example, I can also put Advaita. This is a good thing. I can't call it a technique. It is better than having this make $1 million ambition and be socially famous. When you
Mhm.
want to become famous, then that is the highest corruption. Then you are looking for validation from other people, which is a
Yes.
big illusion, right? Which is
Yeah.
impossible because somebody will blame you for some silly reason. Then everything is
Yeah.
destroyed.
That's why they say arrogance is like really a problem because you don't ever question even your own mind.
Yeah. Okay. So let us put something called, let us call this area as, I know you might hate this, but
Yeah, I do hate that.
I know. Can I put guidance at least?
Um, trying to think of a word.
Please, thank you. That will help me.
How about something like dissolving delusion?
Dissolving the illusion. Awesome. Yeah, guidance to dissolve the illusion. Are words. Okay, for now, I'll just put whatever you want to put. Dissolving the illusion.
I would say who am I should also go in there somewhere.
100%. We are just collecting all those techniques, and I'm sure there's many hundred techniques told by,
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
like all gurus. Like even like, you know what? One of the caution here is that, as Osho repeatedly says, look, all these teachings are, whether it's me or from everyone, are finger pointing to the moon. You guys are
Mhm.
holding onto the finger and then fighting for the finger and living for the finger. I'm pointing at the moon. You
Yeah.
should look
I
at the
always
moon. You're
I
right.
always say that all practice is only done to see the futility of practice
Yeah, yeah, right.
because you're already there.
Yeah, and as Jesus says, a tree is known by its fruit. Like the result is more important than this
Yeah.
thing. Okay, awesome. Copy paste.
Yeah. I guess they also say it's like it's a thorn to remove a thorn. It's kind of
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and that the final stick to end the funeral pyre.
Yes. Yeah. That has to burn as well.
Yeah, you don't keep it for any other purpose. Okay, I can add hundreds of these things here, right? Like even this statement that like and dislike is the disease of the mind. Like
Yeah.
if somebody hears this, that's a good starting point. Like why would
Hmm.
anybody want to make this statement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you know what? uh, there's one more thing I'm very tempted to add, and that is, uh, corruption are, you know, footnotes. No, not footnotes. Disclaimer. Disclaimer is what I want to put is, wait. Whatever you do will take you away from your reality or consciousness. This is a disclaimer, right?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Anything you do, know that you are going to go away from yourself because you are already there. It is what is running the show. So this is a disclaimer. Okay, yeah, and this is a possibility of corruption. You can decide to go and live in a forest or a monastery for 20 years. Nothing is going to happen, right? That's corruption, right? So, yeah, I mean, because you are very cautious to give us something to hold on. Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything.
You don't want to give homework.
Yeah. Our techniques. You hate the word techniques.
Yeah, I do.
Because I want to put the word techniques, but then the techniques has to be given with a disclaimer.
I agree.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, the techniques has to be given, please. I mean,
they're useful to a point, and then they're until they're not.
Yeah, until they are not. Yeah. Mirror to see oneself, according to JK. Okay, this is awesome. So super. I'm what I did not believe this is going to be so quickly. We can cover so much. Oh, let me also tell you this, William. A month ago, I went to India for my vacation.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, after like 3 years of COVID, right? My wife's dad, he met with a couple of accidents. He was not feeling well. So she desperately wanted to go. But then because of COVID, we could not go. And then we fortunately made time and we went there for 3+ weeks. And you cannot believe there is one lady by name GM. I can't believe this GB and GM.
Really?
Seriously, you cannot believe. You should follow her in tweet. Let me see if I have this tweet open. I only had 3 weeks, okay? And in my first week, my wife had fever, I had fever, my father-in-law met with a like small accident, and we were jet lag, busy, everything. And in spite of that, this lady, wow, I can't believe.
I think my sister told me about. Oh wait, I think I'm following her.
Really?
Yeah.
You cannot believe. I just took 1.5 day off from this hectic packed schedule. I went to Chennai, which is just 1 hour by flight, but 10 hours by bus or car. I spent 1.5 day with her.
Oh, did you really?
Really, like sitting next to her, asking questions, and she okay, yeah. So she, okay. See now, from the past couple of years, I have at least one talent I have is if somebody speaks spirituality or Advaita, in few minutes I can find out if they're bullshitting or not. Is it their first-hand experience or they're quoting books? In like quickly, I can
am I bullshitting or?
No. You have some originality. You have some spark. That's why I'm hanging out with you. Okay. So now this lady, I saw all of her tweets are like Nisargadatta Maharaj quality. Like in the sense, like she doesn't even want to speak about the level of mind. She doesn't want. She will reject. Right? Immediately, she said, "Hey, you're speaking about mind. I don't want to chat about this. Stop. Shut up." That's what she will say. I don't want to speak about mind. I am here only to speak about this awareness and the consciousness. If you're interested, I'm willing to answer questions or talk. Otherwise, no, because there is one word she was a scientist and all. Maybe you should follow this website. Anyway, just to conclude, She speaks Tamil, which is the native language from South India, where
Yeah.
she's from. She also speaks in English
Uh-huh.
and comfortable communicating in English. And I was with her one of days, listening to her, asking questions face to face and all. And she's, I mean, obviously, I believe she's like original, like she's like Nisarata Maharaj, like
Okay.
who speaks about pure Advaita, like nothing like if you ask Nisarata Maharaj, my neighbor is in trouble or somewhere, like, do you care? He said, no, no, I don't care. This is like he bluntly says, don't bring your personal problems to me, right?
Yeah, he was very blunt.
Yeah. She's also like, I mean, she's very friendly, smiling. She gave me food, like, two times how much I can eat, like very friendly human being, like a South Indian like person. Like you go like to your aunt's place, she will take care of you like that. The point I'm trying to make is, so I followed a tweet, I collected all those it's just like 2 months ago, like last month, right? July. She's also like, I felt original, and I started then see, from the past 2 years I myself am creating one image, and then I'm trying to follow her, asking her, ma'am, please help me to create one image which will summarize all of your teaching,
Uh-huh.
right? For the past like 1 month I'm struggling. I could not get her audience because she doesn't want to come online at all. At
Yeah.
maximum she speaks, and then the only technique she gives is like, even when I was there, she made me to sit for hours, and she strictly told all of us, close your eyes and stay in stillness. This is my only technique, and if you do it in the presence of a person who has known this consciousness, it will help you. Is a core fundamental teaching,
Uh-huh.
right? So I was there, and then even when I came here, we spoke for an hour, and then that's what she said, can you please close your eyes and then listen to me? And then she speaks for an hour, and she says, look, you are that stillness, that void, that emptiness. None of the thing which appears in you is not you, right? So the point I'm trying to make, I was in her home for 1.5 days, and the only point I'm trying to make is, I am still struggling to create an image like this, which I could create with you in like 1 hour, summarizing all these things. So I'm happy, is what William I'm going to say. And then
Okay.
this image, I started for her as the source, as you saw the other image. But then actually there is no big difference between her core teaching and whatever your core teaching is. And this is also another proof for me that this Advaita should be true, because you are from some background, from somewhere, you arrived at this image. Now she is from some background, she lives in some other country, speaks some other language. She arrived at this picture. She arrived at this fundamental statement that whatever you believe that you're a form and objects are real, and that you believe you're a body and mind and person, these are all is lie. This is not you.
Uh-huh.
You project this thing. But honestly, even when she said her, I could not believe. She said, like, how the hell the consciousness makes all these things spontaneously. But I don't know. I
I think
started
the
believing.
I think the teaching of just to be still and be silent,
Yeah.
I think that works a lot better. Like when you've kind of struggled for a while doing other things, and then
Okay. Yeah.
you get to the point where you just don't have to do anything anymore.
Right. So you knock at hundreds of doors, and then no door opens. So what do you
Yeah.
do? I said, I'm
Yeah,
tired.
but
I,
it's very hard just to tell somebody just don't knock on any doors. Like
yeah, it
as
makes
somebody
sense.
that's they've been
Yeah.
knocking on doors their whole lives, like,
Yeah.
and then you're just going to tell them immediately, like, don't knock on the doors. I mean, maybe some
Don't do
people could get,
anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe some people can get that, but it's very rare that you can
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of instantaneously like pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like even like Ramana gave instruction, like some instruction.
Yeah.
Like you have to see where the person's at.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Nisargadatta that said, like, in order to treat like the disease, you need to know what the disease is that the person has first. Where are
Yeah.
they stuck? Like, where are they stuck? Like, at what point of their practice are they stuck? And there's a different teaching for that depending
Mm.
on where they're at.
Yeah, yeah.
But ultimately, there is nothing to do. Like Robert Adams basically just said, do nothing.
Do nothing. In one sense, you know what? See, do nothing. Sorry, I mean, maybe it is true, but then for people like me, it is not helpful because only by doing something, something happens.
Yeah,
Without doing,
nothing needs to happen. That's the problem. Like
no,
whatever.
I mean, sorry, wait. I'm in pain. I'm in sorrow. I'm in suffering. Now, to go to remove the
Yeah, but
suffering.
you're not in pain or suffering. You're the witness of it. The suffering is just there. You're
Suffering
not
is there.
you're not the experiencer. You're the one that's watching the experience. Like
Mm.
this whole conversation that we've had, there's been an awareness of it.
Okay.
We didn't have the conversation today. We were the witness. We were the witness of the conversation. That gets into like, are you going to indulge in body consciousness? Like this is body consciousness having an experience, but there's also a witness that's witnessing this whole conversation.
And
That's
that witness
formless.
is consciousness.
It's the formless version.
No. Wait a second. I just want to add it. So this pure consciousness is the witnesser. Is witnessing.
Yeah. Ultimately, the pure consciousness is the ultimate witness. It's the pure awareness beyond the entire experience.
Yeah, I mean it's a bedrock. It is a screen. It is the ocean on which the ice forms. So,
Yeah, but if you get lost in the idea that you're here doing this, you never escape the idea that this is not actually you doing anything. You're just the witness. It's like very important to keep the idea of like body consciousness versus pure consciousness.
give me 1 minute. I'll grab some water.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
So what I was asking was, See, if you say witnessing, that word is very easy for the mind to understand, because I can witness the tree, for example. Like, the mind can witness something. I can say I was a witness, right, for two people fighting, right? The mind understands witnessing.
Well, is the mind witnessing, or is something aware that the mind is witnessing?
See, the mind is also recording it, right? The mind is
Yeah, but it's
recording.
not, the mind can't be aware of itself.
Okay, you know what? I think it is better to use the word thoughts rather than the word mind, because mind contains
Yeah,
many things.
yeah.
So
Use the
let
word
us say,
thoughts.
okay, let us say there's a fight for two between two guys happening yesterday, and then police comes and asks me, "Hey, can you be the witness for these two people fighting?" I say,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, I saw there was a fight yesterday. So these are the two guys. I saw them with my own eyes, and I can, yes, I am a witness. I witnessed this. Now this these thoughts remembered what happened yesterday, and they tell the police today, and tomorrow when the judge asks, I can also go and tell the judge, yes, I witnessed the fight day before yesterday, right? So now I understand the thoughts under can witness, right? So now, is this witness same as that
Yeah,
pure conscious witness?
but who's witnessing your thoughts?
Why do I care who is witnessing my thoughts? I mean, sorry for a
Because
blunt word, I mean,
no, because how do you know that the thoughts are there?
I can recall. I mean, my thoughts can recall.
Who are who are you? You just said I.
I
Who's
am the
that?
person, the persona.
Who's aware of that? Show me the person. Show me the person that's aware of the thoughts.
And that person is consciousness. I mean, that witness is consciousness, is what you're saying?
The the awareness of the thoughts is part of another aspect of consciousness. You
So
know,
the conscious was
the thought,
witnessing or is aware of these thoughts,
yeah,
is it?
yes.
But then,
Yeah, the person's not witnessing it.
who recalls it?
The awareness of the memory of that thought arising. It's another thought arising. But show me the person separate from the thought. There is no person.
Okay, so when the judge asks me, you are a witnesser of this fight, then actually my thoughts are saying, out of the memory, this, yes, I witnessed this fight. My thought is saying to a projection who is a judge. Because that judge is also my projection, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the important thing is to see that it's the awareness of the thought that is more you than the thought.
Oh, okay. It's more you. Okay, so okay. So what you're saying is the real I is the conscious space of awareness is the real I, in which the thought came and went. But
Yeah, because you can't show me a person. That was the witness.
that person is an image inside this mind, a brain. That person is an image.
Where's the image? Show me the image.
See, I cannot show you because it is subtle. If it is physical, I can show you. If it is subtle, I cannot show you.
Yeah, but it's just a collection of thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's just more thoughts.
So they are unreal.
Well, the person is unreal.
the thoughts. I mean, the thoughts are an appearance within the illusion. But you can't even find the person anywhere. Like there is no person. You can find a thought. I can see a thought. I can be aware of a thought, but I can't be aware of a person. I mean, the sense you may have is the I amness, like I am,
Yeah.
but that's not a person. Everybody says I am.
Yeah. Okay. I am not a person, but the consciousness in which the thought appears.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of the thought is the image of J. A
I mean,
part of the thought.
if you're saying the image, like your body image, or like
No,
what you look like.
The mental image of myself. I am this, I am that, I have degree, I have this much money, this is my job. That J.
The collection of concepts.
Okay, yeah. But then there's a J inside the collection of concepts, right?
No.
Not even there?
Where?
Okay. 1 second.
Because you're saying I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Those are all thoughts. They're all concepts. There is no J concept other than the collection of all these other things. Like where are you? It's like when you take the parts of like a car apart. Where's the car? It's all the parts.
But
does it stop?
Wait a second. Let us say you parked your car somewhere and then somebody's coming and asks you, hey, is that car yours? Right? Then you're going to say, yeah, this car is mine. Right?
Yeah, but you take the car apart and show me where the car is.
Sorry?
Take the car apart and show me where the car is.
Yeah, but
it's just a collection of parts.
No, wait. You cannot tell that guy, look, this is not a car. If somebody shows your actual car, right? It's a mutually agreed shared fiction that it's a car.
Yeah, but if you look for yourself in your mind, you're not going to find that object.
Gotcha. Okay. It might be valid for a car. For this phone, maybe we can say it's a phone. But when it comes to J, he is nowhere to be found.
That's correct.
Okay. That is a fundamental statement. I have to put it somewhere here. I cannot miss this statement. Give me 1 minute. Because it is very fundamental that we exist. I mean, I exist is like core of the illusion. It has to be documented somewhere. Wait a second. You know what? Let us put it this way here. I and others exist. Is this a correct statement? I exist and others exist. This is not true. Fundamental.
You say I, the individual.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, you know what? Let me be very specific. I as an individual and others exist. It's what I believe. I believe that I exist. 8 billion people exist. But now, William, you're coming and saying, no, neither you exist nor any of those 8 billion people. Because
correct.
You yourself are a projection of the thoughts inside thoughts. Others also more projection. At least you are a closer projection. Others are like further projection.
You could say that.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That is what I keep forgetting. That's what I think many people keep forgetting. That is a very, very fundamental statement. Like all illusion starts from here, that I exist. Okay. I should keep in mind that I exist as an individual person. But then, William, in this society, we call like, look, this is my car, this is my phone, this is my shirt, this is my body, this is my bank account. You also will do this, right? Like, you agree that you also play this role that if somebody asks you, is this your earbuds? You're going to,
Hey,
hey, welcome back.
my laptop's been freezing on me,
Okay.
like periodically. So it may happen again. I don't know.
No problem. Oh, quick time check. Today is a holiday. Till evening, I'm free and I'm willing to hang out with you. How about your quick time check? Like, how much more time and energy do you have? I know I'm asking you tough questions.
I probably have about a half hour more. I could probably go.
No problem. Thank you very much. And I'll email you this image at the end of our meeting, and then maybe I'll call you also. And yeah, I also want to, like, send you a small amount of money.
Oh, no. That's
No?
okay.
Okay.
No money.
Thanks. Yeah, sure. Okay, so to continue our discussion, at least for the next half an hour, we were discussing about, okay. Even now, I always think that, I as a person exist. But then this is one of the fundamental which we believe that I'm an individual and 7 billion people exist. But then this is needed to interact with the society, right, William? If somebody asks you, hey, is this your iPod, earpods, or whatever those things are called, you are going to say, yeah, this is mine, and I'm William, right?
Yeah, but you know that's just a facade that you're using.
That is just a facade. But people fight and kill each other over this.
Yeah. I guess that's why I'm tweeting to try to help people see past that.
To do what?
To help people see past the facade.
Okay. That is a facade. But there should be a use or a utilitarian purpose for this facade, right? Like,
Say
for
that again?
example, there should be a utilitarian purpose for this thing. For example, in India, everybody drives left side of the road. In North America, we all drive in the right side of the road. Social convention. You cannot, that's not like a facade. I mean, otherwise one will get killed if you drive without following the traffic rules.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more talking about the identification that you're holding as who you are.
Okay. the identification which we are holding as who we are is a lie, but this identification following a traffic rules is good.
Yeah.
Because this facade only follows the traffic rules, right? I am following the traffic rules. Like law says everybody has to follow these rules. Who is following those rules? The image, the lie, the illusion.
I mean, ultimately, it's just all consciousness.
Okay.
You just think that you're doing it separately yourself. Like there is no doer. It's just one conscious movement.
But William, at maximum, if I stay in stillness or whatever, do neti neti, find out who am I, I'll go to this void and awareness, and I know if I'm the pure consciousness, how can I prove that others are also inside my consciousness? What if they themselves have a separate consciousness and a separate universe? How will William know that? Or William's consciousness, William as consciousness can prove undoubtedly that others don't have their own private consciousness and private universes.
How can I prove it?
Yeah.
That they don't, that they do or don't? How do I conclude that they have separate ones?
No, you don't have separate one. See, you are saying there's only one whole pure consciousness. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
There's only one wholeness, one pure consciousness, which is the reality, which is the one. Even if William the person knows that in actuality he is the one, he is the pure consciousness, he is the reality, he is timeless, how can you confirm that? Yeah.
William doesn't know that he's the pure consciousness.
Okay.
The pure consciousness knows itself by being it.
But the starting point is, but William started this journey, right? William started this journey that he wants to find out who is he in reality. And at the end, he finds out.
Yeah, but he doesn't find out. He disappears.
He vanishes. Okay. This is like the salt dal trying to find out the depth of the ocean. Before he goes to the depth, he disappears, and then
there's nobody here.
And then the ocean stays. The conscious stays. Look, I was staying here timelessly. There is some salt dal trying to go deep. It went deep and it vanished because I only exist here. I mean, it doesn't say that. It knows that I only exist. But that I only exist, how can it surely know that something else doesn't exist? I know it's a theoretical question.
Yeah, but you're asking as part of the illusions to come up with an answer to something.
Okay.
It's sort of like what GM was saying. It's irrelevant. Like don't bring the mind into this discussion.
Whole equation. Yeah.
Okay. Because you can go on and on forever. Like
yeah. Right. Thank you. That should shut up my unnecessary question of finding out about pure conscious, because that can only be known by being it. Until then, I should not make any unnecessary comments or imaginations or qualities and characteristics of pure consciousness. Maybe it is like this, maybe it is like that.
Yeah, because you always have to remember that you are the illusion. Like, what's the point? What's the point of the dream trying to do anything
about the reality?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So
if the dream doesn't wake up.
Okay, so then as a personality, okay, see now I'm here as a personality as on today, and then many spiritual masters come and say, hey, look, you are not this body, you're not this thing, and you're, but they're all your own projection, because you are in actuality, in reality, you are the consciousness, right? If they say that, then me, many masters says, look, you are actually an illusion, right? You can never know the consciousness. But then what? And then this guy has been knocking at doors, trying to do yoga, trying to do postures, trying to do spiritual things, trying to do prayer, all those things this guy has been doing. So this guy should continue to. Anyway, what is that this illusion can do to know the reality? What is the dream character should do to wake up from the dream? Looks like this is an impossible answer.
Just know that you're the dreamer and not the dream.
Oh,
that's going back to the conviction of who you are.
But no, I am a dream character. How can I know that I am the dreamer?
Yeah, but you're both, because you proved it by going back through the mind, through the void, through the awareness, and then through the pure consciousness. You know that there's something beyond. That's prior to the projection. You know the projection's coming out of something, so you know that you can't be the reality. So you hold the conviction that I'm whatever that is prior to the projection.
Okay, so now I should also add a here. This is prior to projection.
Yeah, until you decide that this is not who I am. Like, you have to have that. It's like a leap of faith, sort of, that.
Yeah.
You have to take that step into the unknown and just know that what I know here is not who I am, and then hold on to that conviction. It's I don't even know if it's possible to do it without having that initial conviction that I'm beyond this.
That I'm the?
That I'm beyond this projection.
Yeah, yeah.
Until you have that moment, you're still going to be the projection, like forever. And you can't even have the idea like I'm beyond the projection as the projection, like, because the mind will do that.
Yeah.
That's why it's good. Either all of this is me or none of this is me, and then allow what you are to come through. Because you're like reframing your point of perception. And you have to be consistent with it. You can't be like, oh, let me not see it this way for an hour and then forget about it the rest of the day and remember the next day, oh, let me do it again, and I'm there for a half hour.
Yeah.
It has to be like, that's what your life has to be like. And the mind's going to do whatever it can to disrupt that, that need to look at things that way. It's going to pull you all over the place. Just out of habit, out of the habit of the patterns that you've been living within.
1 minute. I'm also trying to add this as a projection. I just got this idea because we're repeatedly using the word projection. So this I just would like to show like a projection.
Okay.
This mind projecting this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now one of the instinctive fear for any living thing is a precipice, like a fear of falling down and dying, right? So
Mm-hmm.
right. So now that is very instinctive. Like all animals knows this, right? You should not fall down from a edge of a hill, and that helps survival. Like scientifically and biologically, they say that fear is good for survival. If that fear were not to come for any of these animals, then they'll just walk out of a hill and they'll fall down and die. So
Mm-hmm.
it is good to have that decision, that fear with which we evolved. Now, from an animal point of view, it makes sense, right? Even from a human point of view, it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that fear comes when before falling down, so it is good. So you are saying that fear and that fear of that gravity or looking from a 10th floor and then fear of falling down, so that is also mind's projection, or is it some sort of animalistic instinctive natural capability? You don't
I
agree
mean,
with?
I
Yeah.
mean, everything is mind's projection. It's just
Mhm.
a different type of projection.
Some of them help, I mean, most of them are helpful for survival of mind's projected survival. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is like trying to differentiate like whether things are good or bad is kind of doesn't really get you to the answer.
But William, then is it survival good or bad? Like if there's a way, like you'll be eaten by a tiger, you'll not be eaten by a tiger. Won't you choose not? Will you ever choose eaten by a tiger?
Yeah, but you're not choosing it anyway. It's the consciousness just moving that way.
Consciousness is making this body to move that way.
Yeah, like you get up and you
But it
start
is.
walking.
Wait
Like
a
you get up and you get up and start walking. Do you say get up? Do you say start walking? Do you say left, right? Like move your left leg, move your right leg? Do you say digest your food? Do you say breathe? Like all these things are already happening. The heart's already beating. The thought is like a heartbeat. It's just another expression of the same consciousness.
Okay. See, I was imagining that this mind is projecting this universe, but then the consciousness is projecting this universe through the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only one source of everything. Like there's one light source and everything is the light.
That consciousness itself is creating the mind, or is it projecting the mind, or consciousness creates the mind?
It's the same thing, creation or projection.
Okay, so consciousness projects the mind, and the mind projects this earth or the world.
You could say it that way, but it's still consciousness. It's still, the mind is consciousness, the projection is consciousness. They're all just different components. I mean, ultimately, there are no components. It's just the absolute expression.
As your telescopic antenna, like what I can imagine is like there's a basic, and then this guy comes up, projects something, and then it sees and it is involved there. But then it's also the base of the antenna. It's also the top of the antenna.
Yeah,
The base
it's
of
the same. It's the same, but at the same time, it's beyond beyond the expression. So that's why I said concurrent, like they're both happening at the same time. It's kind of like the paradox.
So then mind is so powerful to create its own universe?
Oh, it's coming from the consciousness. You know, mind is just a component of that. It's like the projector, like the lens. It's just the lens.
I just remembered two examples. So GM from Chennai, she always in Tamil language, she uses the word dubakur for the mind. Dubakur means who's like a fraud, who's like a cheat, like who's a fraud who will tell you lies and and distract you and steal from you.
Like, yeah, Nisargadatta said the whole world is a cheat. So the whole world is cheat.
Okay, and Ramana Maharshi's example, like when one thief, like is caught, like somebody will find out there's a thief here, and then they'll start running, chasing, like, hey, thief, thief, and all. Now this thief guy, he crosses one house and comes back to those people, and he merges with the crowd, and he's also screams, thief, thief, catch, catch.
It's exactly what's happening.
So this mind only projects. And then he's get caught, and then he only tricks.
Yeah, that's why you just start.
It's impossible to find out this thief.
Yeah, that's why you start laughing. That's why you start laughing, because there's nothing to do. It's all just a joke.
Okay. But the thief itself is created by the consciousness anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if Jay's body mind dies, okay, physical, I mean, they bury me or burn me or whatever, right? And then the consciousness continues through billion other minds.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just like different windows to look at it.
Okay, so that is why it is said, if you know that you are not the person, and if you know that you are consciousness, then that is timeless.
Yeah.
Wow. This is like, I mean, in public parlance, this can be said as a superpower. Everybody wants to become Superman, right? Everybody wants to become powerful. Now, this is like infinite power.
Yeah, it's like they say, like becoming God. Like
God. In a sense.
Yeah. Or not even becoming, just realizing you are. Like
you were always.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I mean, for now, this is an awesome start. Okay, let me ask you another broader question. In this picture, I hope you're still seeing the screen in a big screen.
Yeah, I still see it.
Okay. In this picture, picture part only, the text, I'm going to beautify this picture, add more text and all those. And maybe I'll go to some of your old tweets and I'll put some words also. So I'll elaborate this picture. But then, is there any big swath or area of your insight which I'm missing here, which I should put somewhere here? Any area you think I should add in this picture?
I don't think so. I think we talked about just about everything.
It's a big deal, William. I think this is everything. Then I'm at least happy that we have successfully put put 1,000 words into one image.
I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Thank you. Okay, wow. Okay, so now I'll go to some of your tweets and I'll put some boxes and this thing, and I'll make it one A4 page. And I'm going to print it for myself and I keep it in my wall so that, I will know, okay, well, if some of these insights, I have to be reminded of myself, and then maybe sometime something will click, something will deepen, and something will open up, some insight I'll get, right? Okay, this is awesome for me. And obviously, if you remember anything tomorrow, next week, I'll be happy to put it all and we can make it bigger. And then obviously, if you want to share to some of your followers, I will be happy because some of us are pictorial. Like if you see a picture, we'll get it.
Yeah.
Some people need to read a lot. And to my surprise, I've seen some people who hate pictures, who hate to read, but they want to listen. Like they want to hear.
That's me. That's me. I like to listen. Yeah. I don't like to read. Like I used to like to read.
Okay.
But not what it is I think it makes it too much form, like to have to read the words. Like, to listen, it's a little bit less like heavy. There's not as much heaviness to it.
Yeah, but the disadvantage with listening is, William, like you have to go at their speed. Like at 1 minute they'll tell something awesome which we have to rewind and listen, and for like 10 minutes you don't know what the hell they're talking. I mean, they're beating around the bush, they're taking useless thing, they're telling me something which I can't comprehend, right? But then if you're reading, you can
but I usually listen to like audiobooks.
Okay,
so it's like reading a book but listening to it.
But yeah, you have to listen to that useless thing for half an hour to get into that 1 minute. But while reading, you can underline and you can go back. Okay, page 1, this is awesome. Page 5, this is awesome. Then you can.
But I don't ever like come back. It just kind of, I just let it go through me. Like I don't try to comprehend it.
You don't?
I don't try to like comprehend it with my mind.
So you don't even try to comprehend?
No, I just let it wash through me.
Okay, interesting.
Because the mind is the one that's going to try to like hold on to these different ideas.
Yeah.
So it's really just, you're trying to wash that away instead of reinforcing it.
Okay, out of curiosity, so do you only read Advaita or any other non-Advaita things also, or listen to?
Probably mostly that, but it depends. There could be like some Zen stuff.
So that is also close to Advaita only.
Yeah, well, I don't stray very far from the core.
Okay, the core of conscious, the core which is consciousness.
Yeah, if it's like something like extraneous, like I don't get into that type of stuff. Like law of attraction, that type of, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Right. Okay, thank you. Yeah, interestingly, just from the past 2 weeks, I'm listening and reading a lot of Francis Lucille.
I've heard the name, but I haven't.
Please see if you can. I mean, he has got 3 books and lots of YouTube videos, like hundreds of YouTube videos. And he happens to be the teacher of Rupert Spira.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never listened to Rupert either.
Oh, not much. But
I've seen his. I've seen his stuff, but I haven't listened to him.
Oh, okay. Rupert, yeah. I mean, I was also reading Rupert a year ago. I bought his book Consciousness a little bit, but now I'm mature. Maybe if I go back and read that book, I'll get a better clarity. And Francis Lucille is also helpful from the past couple of weeks.
I tend to stick with like Ramana, Nisargadatta.
Oh, I see.
Now, Siddha Ramesh.
Okay.
Yeah, those types of teachings are like ones that resonate.
I never knew that Siddharameshwar Maharaj wrote any books.
Oh my God, you should read the book. It's really good.
He wrote
It's called. Let's see what the name of it is. Just one. I think he wrote 1 or 2.
Okay, master key to self-realization.
Yeah, that's it.
Master of self-realization and
It's phenomenal. It's like a
okay,
phenomenal book.
master key to self-realization. Is that the book you're reading?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll also try to get it and see if I can. Master key to self-realization. I never knew that he has written any books, because I mean the only thing I know is he travels village to village and then he finds the right candidates. He tells them, or yeah, he tells them like, you are it. And
I
then he
actually
moves
don't.
on.
I actually don't even know much about him. Like, there's not really like a lot of information about him.
Oh, this is I've heard it from Nisargadatta Maharaj's words. Like in that
Okay.
book, I Am That, or in couple of other books, he says about
Okay.
Siddha Rameshwar. Something that, he moves across villages and he finds the right people. He just tells them the reality is that you are actually that, but you are under illusion that you think you are a
Yeah,
person.
that's why I keep like emphasizing the conviction part to be so important.
You know what? Yes, this conviction. Actually, when I went to Chennai and I was with um, um, GM. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when she tells you at your face, no, this whole mind is garbage. This is not it is. Then it strikes you. Then you listen. Yeah. So that personal touch is needed. Then I mean,
Mm.
I did not believe. I thought, okay, by reading books and YouTube, everything is sufficient. Is what I thought. But when that realized person, that who knows, it is like a candle lighting another candle.
Yeah.
Right, when this goes to a candle, then it's easy. I mean, it's not like that impossible. And then if you're in darkness, if you fight with the darkness for 1,000 years also, nothing is going to happen. Is what the example they give. But you go to a candle and then you, like, stay with the candle, then you are bound to be see the light, is what.
Yeah.
So my Advaita seeking is like, is more clearer and strong. And now, yeah, I don't think it's like an impossible thing to know that you are the universe. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, because you already are. You already are. So you just have to. You have to have that conviction
conviction is the
and
key.
like hold it in your heart. I know that Nisargadatta talked a lot about earnestness. Like,
Yes, he frequently uses the
yeah, you
but
have to have that earnestness. That there's nothing more
but
important than
Vivian,
that.
I always thought earnestness is to search, your sincerity to search.
It's just it's just to know what you are. You don't even have to search.
Okay, yeah,
Keep the earnestness within your heart that this is what I am.
Okay, I misunderstood that earnestness is to put the effort to know. Is what I thought.
There is some, like we talked about, there is some effort kind of that you need to take to see that no effort is needed.
Yeah.
Like if you just say I don't have to do anything and just don't do anything, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, and then go back to your ambition and your uh, livelihood and all those things. We are tempted to go back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just adding one more line here, which means put. I'll share the screen in a minute. Put effort only to know that it does not need effort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just added that line. That's one of the. This is about effort, right? Where to put the effort and how to put the effort part. Okay, I just added that. Okay, so I'll just modify this diagram, add, put, and I'll fix it in one A4 page, so that the whole summary has to come, so that I can keep it in my workplace here, so that I'll keep looking into it. That's from my side. Yeah, otherwise, thanks for your time.
Okay, it's nice seeing you again after such a long time.
Yeah, nearly 1 year. I saw like the YouTube video which we uploaded is last September.
Okay.
So it is actually 1 year it has to take, and
I'm glad you're doing well.
yeah, no complaints at all. Yeah, from my persona wise. Sorry to say that. Persona wise, there is no complaint. Life is good. But at least things are clear. At least the target is clear in the sense what needs to be known is like, as you said, it's only in the one picture, like what it needs to be understood or insight. It is not like a 1,000-page volume of stuff and all. And
No.
even as GM insisted me, and actually I stopped meditation, like, 10 plus years ago, thinking that this is not going to go anywhere. And even like 4 or 5 years ago, this is what I keep hearing. I keep hearing from whatever I read, like, it's not going to help you in any way. And then I stopped it. But then just last month, GM started insisting, no, close your eyes and sit and watch your stillness. Stillness is the key word she uses. Know that you are not any of those things which moves, which comes and goes, is not you. That empty stillness, when you stay there, then you will go to you will know that it's all projection, and you are the consciousness, which is timeless.
Meditation helped me. I probably meditated for probably like three or 4 years.
Okay.
But then I kind of stopped after that.
Okay. In what way did meditation help you?
To quiet my mind.
I see. Okay.
Like, I don't know if you do still have like a lot of inner chatter in your mind, like where your mind is like.
I do. Yeah. My mind can.
Yeah. See, that's what meditation helped me with. Okay. I started to get gaps of silence, and the more that I sat, the more those gaps of silence like got bigger and bigger.
Okay.
And then pretty much like my mind's pretty much just about silent now.
Okay.
Because it makes it a lot easier when your mind is like you don't have to have a silent mind, but it makes it a lot easier to see like the awareness of everything when you're not getting pulled around so much by the thoughts.
Yeah. And thoughts can take you like, infinite directions.
Yeah, you can go on for like ever.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So when is a convenient couple of hours you can, or at least 1 hour you can spend for me, like next weekish or evenings?
Yeah, next week would be fine. I have like a few things I have to do this week, so next week would be better.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning.
I don't really like to do the weekends too much. Can you do that during the week, or you're working?
Yeah, any day. Like fortunately, you're 2 hours ahead. Like my 7 to 8 a.m. any working hour, all 7 days a week. My 7 to 8 a.m. is your 9 to 10 a.m.
Yeah, like next Monday is fine. Next Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay, super.
Next Monday. Whichever.
Okay, I'll send you
one.
Yeah. I'll send you a meeting invite for next Monday 9 a.m. your time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, okay. Super.
Yeah.
I'll send you a Zoom meeting invite, and I'll just collate this, and then let us continue our chat next week.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Thanks, William.
Take it easy. Talk to you later.
Have a great day. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.